I may be small, but it's time for me to leave this show. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. It's your guy, Raphael, and I'm about to speak on it. No, I'm kidding, but welcome to my channel. By now, I'm pretty sure that we all know that Kandi announced at the Grammys this past weekend that she is no longer coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta for season 16, I believe. And, you know, it's bittersweet. It's honestly bittersweet. She has been on the show for about 14 seasons, 14 years. She has shown us every single aspect of her life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, from Mama Joyce almost, you know, getting it on with Carmen, from her getting into it with Peter and almost grabbing Cynthia's sister by the neck. You know, I'ma drag you in this bitch. You know, Kandi has given us many, many, many iconic moments, her and her family, you know, and it's just so bittersweet because I've said it before that, yeah, Kandi's time on this show is up. You know, there's nothing else that she could show us on the show besides a divorce between her and Todd, and we don't want to see that. Her kids have grown up, which is crazy. You know, it's always crazy to me when a housewife, they start off on the show and we see their child when they were young and now they're going to college. And we have seen every single aspect of Kandi, and, you know, what more can she have given us, right? But at the same time, I say that, and I think, you know, she's a socialite. She knows everybody. She knows everybody in Atlanta. She knows everybody in general. Bitch, I'm worldwide. You know, she's worldwide. And I just feel like they should have done something with that. I don't know. I just feel like, you know, if she was to have come back for season 16, maybe she could have had some of her established friends join the show as housewives, or even some members from Escape, Tiny and T.I. They could have joined the show and we could have seen the downfall of that marriage, you know, because I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of skeletons in that closet. But, you know, that would have been an interesting dynamic because that's an actual friendship. She has actual friends off the show, but... You know, and then now the whole thing is Phaedra. Is Phaedra gonna come back? Because Andy, on his podcast, I heard that he said, oh, you know, now that Kandi's gone, you know, now we could put everything in a puzzle. You know, we could piece everything together. So I'm not sure if that's him trying to say, oh, now that Kandi's gone, we could use the budget, the big budget that we were using to pay her to bring Phaedra back or to bring somebody else back. But I'm assuming it's Phaedra, right? And honestly, I feel like everybody's just on this whole Phaedra hype because we haven't seen her on The Housewives in years. But I feel like as soon as she comes back to the show, if she comes back, people are going to be so disappointed. They're going to be like, really? Like, we waited all this time for you to come back? You're not even showing us who you really are. Like, you're not talking about anything interesting. You're not giving us anything. Yeah, you need to get fired, bring back Kandi. That's exactly how it's going to play out. Nobody's ever satisfied with anything. And from what I see, I don't watch Married to Medicine, unfortunately, but from what I see online, the critique with Phaedra is that she's still not being honest. Surprise, surprise. You know, let's flash back to a couple of years ago, you know, when she was like, oh, you know, this baby's going to come out of me in 6 months. In the words of Nene, shut up. Bitch is stupid. But, you know, from what I see, she's not being honest on Married to Medicine. She's not showing us her life or showing the audience her life, or she's not really bringing anything. She's bringing the stunts and the theatrics because I believe that she had somebody, I believe it was Quad, you know, she got into a casket, which I'm not sure why they're playing around with that, but... You know, and she popped out. So she's good for that. But, you know, she's not going to give us any vulnerability. She's not going to give us anything from the inside or show us who she really is or her relationship with Apollo, because they're not together, obviously. But, you know, and what people really want her to talk about is her and Kandi and that fallout. But that's just never going to happen. Then there's Porsha. Porsha's the other, you know, conversation that supposedly she's also coming back. And I mean, I love Porsha. I think she is so fun. She's just a whole, you know, different type of energy. But I just feel like if she comes back and Kenya is my favorite housewives out of all the housewives, but I feel like if she comes back, I don't want to see Porsha versus Kenya 100, like what, this is going to be like the 100th millionth time again. I don't want to see that over and over again. And I don't want to see the possibility of get fired. Oh! You know, I'm pretty sure that Porsha won't get physical anymore, but I just don't want to see that all over again for the 100th time. Like, we already seen it. What more can they fight about? And I know Kenya, and I know that Kenya would try to provoke something or press her buttons, but who knows, right? It's a whole different time now. I don't want to see it. If anything, if they do bring back Porsha, you know, as much as it kills me, you know, Kenya, you're going to have to get the boot. You're going to have to go because your time is up. You didn't really want to film with anybody last season unless it was with Kandi. And now that Kandi's not gone, and now that Kandi's gone, I don't know who's Kenya's gonna film with. Like, Kenya just did not like filming with anybody. So you have to go, and Porsha, if they're gonna bring Porsha in, they need to surround her with some of her friends, or, you know, a group of people that she knows specifically, and build the show off of that, because I'm pretty sure that her energy is the same energy that her friends have. So I'm pretty sure that the show could get back on track. They could have fun. They could have a whole different, younger vibe. And, you know, who knows? But if they bring back, you know, people like Sanya, yeah, just throw everybody's peaches in the garbage and just make peach juice, because Sanya, you know, Drew had some type of possibility. I saw some type of, you know, future with her, but I'm not sure. I can see it. If she comes back, I wouldn't mind. I would like to see how she is single now if she's divorced from Ralph. Is that official or not? Marlo, she's another one of my favorites. I love Marlo. I don't care what anybody says. I love Marlo. I think she is so hilarious. She brings the fashions, and she also brings the drama, and she's just entertaining. So I would love to see her back and interacting with Porsha. I know that she will push Porsha's buttons. She'll be, the first thing that she'll say is, "So wait, did you take that married woman's man?" I can already see it. So I would love to see Marlo. I would love to see Sheree back. Sheree should come back as a friend of, or a housewife. I don't care. I love both of them. I think Sheree is hilarious. She is so, so funny. I don't know why people give her such a hard time. Like, she is so funny to me, but, you know, that's that. So yeah, Porsha, Marlo, and Sheree should come back and build the cast around them. And should we have celebrities on? I mean, I don't know. You know, I know that there's always been, you know, conversation about Tamar Braxton joining, but she had an issue with Kandi. But now that Kandi's gone, I mean, does it really make a difference if she's on or not? And I'm pretty sure at this point, Tamar Braxton, I mean, she would show up to anything. Which is sad, because you're Tamar Braxton, right? But now, do I believe that Kandi willingly left the show? I don't know. That's 50-50. I know that she says that, yeah, she walked out on her own. She even went on Speak On It on YouTube, and she said that, yeah, it was her decision. They were taking too long with the casting process. And in that time, she had time to think, like, you know what? Like, I kind of don't want to come back. I want to do other things. You know, because Kandi, she's always booked to do something. So she even said it, like, yeah, I always had these shows. I always had to film something. And, you know, I kind of just don't want to do that anymore. But the reason why I can't believe that, or partly don't believe it, is because Kandi, she never gives up a check. Like, she'll show up for anything if you're giving her a good check. And she was getting paid really well on this show. So why would she walk away from that? You know, Kandi specifically, you know, knowing what we know about her, she just doesn't walk away from money like that so willingly, you know? So I don't know. But regardless, Kandi, you will be missed. I will miss her on the show. I remember just like yesterday when she came on season 2, I believe, and she got into it with Nene, and she was like, "Bring it on down. Bring it on down. I'm gonna need you to bring it on down." You know, Kandi has just been so, so good on this show, and it's just so unfortunate. Like I said, it's bittersweet. I understand why she's leaving. I understand why she's gone, but I'm gonna miss her. I am gonna miss her, and I'm pretty sure that all of you are gonna miss her too. I know everybody who talks shit about Kandi being boring. She doesn't give us anything, when she has given us many, many, many years worth of content on this show, are gonna miss her too. And you'll see, or maybe you won't see. If they get the casting correctly. But I mean, bravo, you really, really, really need to get it together for season 16, because if you come back with a weak ass cast and the show is trash, then you might as well just put the show in a casket. But hopefully that's not the case. Start getting mistresses and side pieces back on the show. Look at Kim Wig Zodiac. She came onto the show as somebody's mistress, Big Papa. Big Papa was married to a whole other woman in a whole different marriage, yet she was flaunting him and their relationship and his money on the show. Like, we need more of those type of dynamics. You know, if anything, bring in a side chick with the guy and the wife, but don't tell the wife that the side chick is on the show. Just bring it on her, like, oh, hey, yeah, you're going to have a one-on-one sit-down with this random woman, and then she could tell him, and then we could see it. But, you know, just so many possibilities. And then there's the talks of Nene Leakes. You know, as much as I love Nene Leakes, she'll always be number one in my eyes, but if she comes back to the show, I just don't want to see, if she ever comes back. I'm not sure. I don't think that that's going to happen, because the relationship with her, Bravo, and Andy. But for some reason, if she was to come back, you know, we need to see the funny side of Nene. But I don't know if that's still who she is now. You know, the last time that we saw her, she was just over this whole show. She thought she was above it all. And, The same route that Kenya took, unfortunately, the last season. She didn't want to film with anybody or give anybody a moment. And we don't want to see that. We need to see actual cast members that want to interact with each other. And now Nene, by the way, did anybody see? I'm pretty sure that we all saw that she's now hosting the Baddies East reunion. Like, oh, how the peach has fallen. Like, ugh. But I feel like we should go out dedicating a song to Kandi, so here it goes. All I really need is understanding, but you don't want to meet me halfway. Oh. But let me know what you think about Kandi's exit. Are you excited for the future of the show? What do you think? Do you think that we should have celebrities, regular people? Who should be casted for season 16? Let me know down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Oh, mwah.